Hi, we're at the factory here, and I want to introduce you to our range of Hampton luxury greenhouses. Behind me here we have the Causeway, and over here we've got the Dunluce. Now the Causeway has got a timber panel base, as you can see, and the Dunluce has got a brick base. That goes across the whole range of our greenhouses that you can have either. Let me just take you inside and show you a bit more about what makes these so special. Okay, we're inside the Causeway here, and this has a timber panel base. All our greenhouses are beveled, everything is beveled, so there's no standing water. And it also means that as water runs down, condensation forms on the inside, it runs down and it runs out through a 2mm gap through the glass and through the timber panel base. The other great thing about a timber panel base is you get that bit of extra space, whereas a brick base, the brick base comes into the floor and eats up some of your floor space. The other feature that we've got on a timber panel base is that we've got this metal shelving that we've designed, and above here we've got an orchid shelf, ideal for specimen plants and so on, so you can set your very attractive plants at this high level. And we've got a crested detail here with a fleur-de-lis. This shelf is also adjustable. And in addition to that, you can see the brackets go right down, so we can introduce another shelf below here to add additional storage space, or you can just simply use it for pushing pots and baskets and storage for larger items below the shelving here. So in this particular one, we've got the orchid shelf up here, and then the lower shelf, and then we've got the same over on this other side here, where we've just added the both on the two sides. Additional, we do a version where we carry it down the side as well, so you can continue that shelving right round the timber panel base. But the key thing is, you can only have this shelving in a timber panel base because the brickwork steps out, you can't use it, but you can have the orchid shelf. This here is possible on the gable of our other models, like the Dunluce, for example, that we'll have a wee look at in a moment or two. One of the key things here in designing a luxury timber greenhouse is selecting the correct materials. We've opted for a thermally enhanced frackie. A frackie is a hardwood that comes from the Ivory Coast in Africa and has got full chain of custody, and that means that it's environmentally friendly, but it also lasts. This material is a Class 1 hardwood and it's designed not to decay, and it's got tested for 25-year in-ground testing for it. So an excellent material, and it is absolutely solid, and you can feel it here. It's soft to the touch, it's warm, so different than aluminium. When it's cold, you touch aluminium and it feels absolutely really cold to the touch, or when it's hot in the summer, you touch it and it can't burn you, whereas you've always got a soft tactile feel with timber, and we've managed to get the best of both. So we're in the Dunluce here. We've just been in the Causeway. The difference between the Dunluce and the Causeway is the Dunluce here is our, let's call it, traditional Victorian style greenhouse. And the Causeway has got a pavilion to the front of it. And of course, as we mentioned before, a timber panel base, and this one here's got a brick base. We have got bracketry made, they're steel brackets, but there's a fleur-de-lis detailing, stainless steel screws, and bracketry with fleur-de-lis detailing at the ridge. You'll notice here that the main rafters are a heavy rafter in the centre, and then we've got lighter rafters in between. What this does, it gives that light, elegant feel that a greenhouse should have, that it's not bulky, heavy rafters, and they're supported by this aluminium extrusion that we have ran across here that support the smaller rafters. This stabilizes the building. In most greenhouses, they use a portal frame, aluminium portal frame very often, to actually support the weight of the building. But we wanted to get away from that and have that finer detail in this. And that's why we went for the design in the brackets as we've done. There are 4 brackets and then another 2 brackets at the ridge. And that is engineered to be completely solid and stable, but give the refinement that these buildings have that no other building has. We've got a couple of benches here I want to show you a little bit about. You've got a mahogany bench, mahogany slats, and the bottom shelf, again, very sturdy. And we've got a little Hampton crest here in the corners, and it's an extremely solid bench. In addition to that one, we have our gravel bench here, our lava bench. You can see here the top has got an aluminium powder coated frame around it. And then inside, which is really cool, if you just take a look here, you can see we use a galvanized base for the stones. And then the stones, the idea for the stones is it allows for drainage, gives you the same bench layout, but you've got a gravel top on it. It's ideal for watering and keeping the plants, keeping a bit of moisture in the base of the plants. They're available in an 1800. This is an 1800 and so is this. And they're also available in an 1100 length, which is perfect for the end of the greenhouse. And if you notice here on the lava stone bench, it extends out over the sill and uses up the space on the brickwork. So you've got more width here than you do on the slatted one. Just to talk a little bit about what we're looking at outside, you can see our valleys here are aluminium, and our gutter is our own extrusion, designed specifically for the building. Aluminium downpipes. The trims, the roof trims are aluminium, stainless steel screws, and the glass basically slides up into a rubber gasket within the ridge. And down here at the valley, you may not be able to see it, but the glass drops down onto a aluminium trim along the bottom. Whenever there's condensation, as it does form in the inside of the building, the condensation will run down the inside, down and appear in the gutter on the outside. So there's a clear airspace for it to travel down and end up in the gutter, which is important to the design. In addition, you can see here aluminium trim on the outside of all the gables that runs up and fits inside the finial. These finials are turned specifically for our buildings, and the mouldings that are carrying up that run up into the finials, and they finish here against into the gutter. So the detail is thought through, but also from a weathering point of view, the entire roof is completely aluminium trims on the roof, all powder coated. And you can see on the far side through here the aluminium roof vents that have got thermostatic control. So that's a little bit about what's going on the outside and the thought and design that's going into it. All our extrusions, we put down aluminium dies for all the extrusions that we use on our greenhouses. They're specific to Hampton. So what I want to talk about here is our patent pending glazing system. Now, the roof, it's quite common on a greenhouse, but the roofed glass on the inside, condensation will form potentially on the inside of the roof here due to heavy watering and so on, and different weather conditions. So when the condensation forms here, it can run straight down the inside of the glass and end up in the gutter. But the unique feature that is unique to us is the same fact that condensation can form in the inside of the side glass. Normally what happens is that condensation forms here and then it runs down over the timber sill and you can see staining and so on. But long term it's not good practice. So you've got to deal with this condensation. So we have a patent pending on that our glass sits on a clip system, and it sits forward 2 millimeters from the rebate, creating an airspace around the glass. First of all, that keeps it dry, that keeps the rebate dry, but the condensation travels down here and it runs out onto the sill of the sash, which is beveled, and it runs it out. But the unique feature here is that on the outside, we have a aluminium glazing clip on the outside, or a glazing bead on the outside, that just looks like putty and very traditional. Let me just show that to you. So you can see here that this is an aluminium bead that travels around the window. At the top, the glass slides up into a rebate, and at the bottom, it's held in with clips around. And those clips then, this aluminium bead is snapped onto the clip and leaving this beautiful finish of that just looks like putty. And the traditional greenhouse would have been a putty finish, but everybody knows the difficulty with putty. Birds eat it. It's labour intensive. It's not the way to go forward. But it also traps the moisture on the outside and the rebate. This sill on this frame is beveled. On the sash is beveled, and the condensation that's coming down the inside runs out below this aluminium bead. The system is designed to let airflow around the sash, around the glass, and keeping everything dry over time, which is perfect for a greenhouse. Unique to our greenhouses is we've designed our own window openers. The stainless steel bars that's here, and the function of opening is quite straightforward, leaving plenty of ventilation. And we use a pin system here on the side, which allows the window to open and stop on it. We've got brass bushings pressed into the metal. We have stainless steel bars and powder. Everything else is powder coated. So a lovely mechanism. Again, the sash sits 2 millimeters out from the rebate on the same principle as the glass. Everything's allowed to be ventilated and condensation will run out. Down here you can notice that on every surface on this building is beveled. So we have bevels both inwardly and outwardly, so there is no standing water anywhere. And you'll notice along the top of the frames here, beveled and beveled. So every surface throws water away from it. Right down to the bottom, the timber panelling here is beveled here and beveled here, and also again the 2 millimeter gap that allows moisture to, if you're watering or something, it always drains out and runs out from below the panel. Beautiful mechanism for the sashes. I want to talk to you a little bit about our trestle table here. It's a beautiful little piece of furniture. It comes in any colour that we have on our range. It's made of mahogany, and we have an aluminium tray on the bottom of it with a gravel base, and a little detailed shelf above it. It's a lovely little piece if you've got some nice specimen plants that you want a little place to show them off. This is a great addition for the greenhouse, and some people even use them in their homes as a display for plants. Any colour is available in it. A beautiful little piece of furniture. So one of the key features about any greenhouse is the paint system that is used for it. And what's so important is that our buildings are all factory finished. They're sprayed in the factory, but they're sprayed with something very special. It's a 2-pack water-based paint. And what that basically means is that the base coat is applied, and within 2 to 3 hours, the top coat is then applied. And we use there's an additive is added to the paint in the base coat, which cures the paint and it acts as a hardener. And whenever you apply the top coat within the 2 hour to 3 hour window, it then chemically bonds both surfaces together, and it gives an incredibly tough paint finish. So much so that you could take a key to this and scrape it and you wouldn't believe how tough the paint is when it's applied with this method. One of the things that's really important about a range of greenhouses is that it suits a large number of customers. And what we've found is that having a design that actually works really well, is extendable, but also has it within brackets, let's say. So we've decided that we have an estate, a manor, and a courtyard. So all of these buildings are available in these 3 categories or 3 sizes. Once you buy a Hampton luxury greenhouse, you can be assured, regardless of the size, that you're getting the quality. So within that three size options, we've then got 4 different models. We're standing in a Causeway. This has got the pavilion to the front. And then we have a Balmoral. And a Balmoral is basically the same design as this, but it doesn't have the projection pavilion to the front, but it does have the gabled end. And you can see that on our website and our brochure. And then in addition to that, there is the Dunluce, which is a traditional Victorian style greenhouse. And then we have our Strangford, which is our lean-to version, ideal against a garden wall or in a walled garden, for example. One of the things that we wanted is that we have got flexibility in the size and design. So what we're able to do, for example, I'm standing in a typical estate Causeway model. And this panel, for example, here, we basically move the gable out the ways and add another panel to it. And you can see here there's 2 different panel widths here, and there's another narrow one as well. So we can configure it pretty much in a very uniform fashion. Very easy to do at the design stage, and that's something we are able to push out on any of the models and add additional space. Designing and building these greenhouses to the level of detail that they have been designed to is absolutely unique. This is not available anywhere else at this level of quality. We've been doing this for 45 years with conservatories and orangeries. I mean, some of the most prestigious oranges and conservatories ever built have been built by Hamptons. But we've used that technology, that knowledge, that skill, that detail, and we've carried that into the design and development of these greenhouses, from every aluminium exterior component that's been extruded and designed by ourselves, the timber that we use and the quality of the joinery that goes into this. These are statement pieces of architecture for anybody's garden. So jump onto our website and have a look at our greenhouses. You'll get us on hamptonconservatories.co.uk. Follow the link to greenhouses, and there you'll find our full range of costs. You can build your particular model, select what you're after, and you'll get the price straight away. You'll know where you stand. Now, all our prices include delivery, installation, and the full package. So do check it out, and I hope you enjoyed the video.